Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Of course, my name is Brad, and I want to welcome you in to the next round here of Pole Position Racing. This is round 4 here in Season 10. This is the Dutch Grand Prix here, of course, brought to you from the beautiful, beautiful Dutch region, the Netherlands, this great area, the world, and I'd argue probably one of the most challenging tracks that we're going to have. Tazo, thank you for resubscribing with Prime. Of course, supporting the league. We very much do appreciate it. Wait, Tazo isn't driving. Interesting. But nevertheless, as we go through, Gavron goes around, Baran comes around, and of course, that man Gragson is into the wall. Ooh, a painful way to start out on his push lap. Gragson, of course, our defending champion, currently P3 in the Drivers' Championship, and that is probably not the way you want to kick off this weekend. And yeah, ouch. That was not the way he needs to start things off. Of course, our current points leader, Mateusz here, who is currently going to be looking to go through and challenge and continue to move forward. And then you get all my info pulled up here. You would think, you know, I've been here long enough, you think I'd know all this off the top of my head, but that's how things go sometimes. Mateusz in the lead, Jalajne in P2. And then Gragson's in third place in the Drivers' Championship. Fourth place is, of course, his teammate Baran, and fifth place, John Meister in the Constructors. It's Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren that are currently battling it out, and they're not that far apart. So we're round 4 of a very, very lengthy season in. And at the moment, it's still very early games and very hard to tell who is going to land where. Drivers kind of settling in and going through. Of course, 12 minutes left to go in qualifying. So for Gragson having that moment, it's not that big of a deal, but he needs to definitely settle things in fairly quick, get comfortable, and get out there and put in a representative time. You can see he's already back on another outlap. Nice and slow and relaxed through. You can see he's going very, very slow. The Zandvoort's a very challenging track to get track space on. So for the drivers, it's very important that they give themselves plenty of room, plenty of gap to go through. You can see John Meister into the pits there. Baran is on an outlap. That was, I believe, Wasserschwein that went into the pits right in front of John Meister. You can see, like, look there with Baran. He's got the Haas of Myros that's just going right around the outside, trying to get some basis of time here. And then, of course, you'll have Gragson who's coming through, who's going to run into this traffic, and he's going to have to figure out what he's going to do about the traffic that's in his way as he runs around this short, tricky circuit that can present a lot of unique challenges to the drivers. A big thank you, of course, to the sponsors here of Pole Position Racing, and that is going to be Moza and, of course, Racetracks.pl. And, of course, if you want to know more about that, exclamation Moza, exclamation Racetracks in the Twitch chat. Track's doing very well to navigate traffic here as he catches in the middle sector. A little bit of slower cars. I believe that was Velocity that he went around, and now he's just going to continue to send it through. He's purple middle sector, so Gragson with plenty of time being found here in the Mercedes and continuing to go forward. We'll see where Gragson lands by the end of this lap. He's got the Ferrari in front of him. I believe that is Barthez that is in his way, and he's going to just have to try to navigate. Barthez, of course, DRS Open, is in the way there. Gragson picking up a very cheeky little slipstream, and Gragson goes good enough for P2, 1:08.540. His teammate, of course, being the car ahead. So Graxent doing very, very well to get in a comfortable time here. John Meister out on an outlap. Jalajne on a push lap at the moment, coming through the first sector. Looks like Jalajne is finding time. Not purple in the first sector, but still finding some time here. Navigating traffic well. That's his teammate staying well out of the way. And now Jalajne sends it into this tricky left-hander. And now Jalajne around the final corner. DRS open, flat out to the line. Baran finding a 108.458. Jalajne 108.637. So Baran, the Mercedes teammate of Graxent, finding even more time. Jalajne not able to find enough time to really stand a challenge there. Velocity is now also on an outlap. 9.5 minutes left to go in qualifying. Plenty of time for these guys here to stay nice and relaxed. So Velocity's around. Velocity's into the pits here. John Meister is purple middle sector. So John Meister finding plenty of time there in the Alfa Romeo. Pick Sauber F1 team, or Stake, whatever we're calling them anymore. I'm going to keep calling them Alfa Romeo as long as we are in F1 23. Now he comes around the line. It's only good enough for P3, 108.580, so not too far off of the time of Graxent. Mateusz, of course, our current championship leader here. Mateusz just flat out here in the Red Bull. Mateusz, who is just looking to kind of solidify his championship lead here at the moment and stay nice and comfortable in the lead and ahead. 108.693, good enough for 5th place. So finding some good time there. Not a significant improvement, but still putting himself in a solid P5 here. 7 minutes left to go. Still plenty of time for the drivers to get laps going and get in and out and around. Drivers continuing to go through, and again, staying nice and relaxed and around, and we can see Graxent here is now starting a push lap. We'll see where Graxent lands himself as we go through. see Gragson, who is looking to just put in consistent, relaxed times. And you can see purple middle sector for Gragson. Gragson's been doing really well in that middle sector. But what can Gragson find coming through the third sector? He's going to come around here, the final corner. Or not the final corner, but the penultimate corner. And now DRS open around the final corner. All the way down flat to the line. And Gragson is going to come across the line. A 108.359, so improves by a 10th on his teammate, which is a significant time find around. But then Baran finds another 10th on his teammate, goes 108.240, finds even more time around, and Jalajne is down on time, so Jalajne will go into the pits here. He's not going to be able to improve. His teammate Gavron is coming into the third sector now. What time will he be able to find here? As it seems like he is significantly off the pace compared to his teammate. He's going to come around here. DRS is open, and as he comes around, it looks like he is going to just dive directly into the pits here. Myros is coming through middle sector. It seems like Myros is finding some pretty good time. But Barad and Gragson trading off their fastest laps yet again. John Meister in third place, starting a push lap. But 0.3 of a second separates Baran and John Meister, P1 to P3, which is a significant amount of time here. Myros is going to come across the line, DRS open, and what time will he find? He is straight to the pit, so he will not find a time. Let's check in on John Meister here, who's going through. Only drivers out on track are Baran, Gragson, John Meister, and Baran and Gragson have already done laps. They're now into the pits. John Meister finds himself the sole car out on track. And now we're starting to see cars come out onto the circuit. First one of many is going to be... Who is that? That is Buchik, who is on an outlap. Like for John Meister is going to be into the pits here. So for John Meister, it's going to be settling down and relaxing. Buchik will be the first car out to do his final flying lap. So Buchik coming around here. You can see starting a push lap. Several other cars out. You can see the Alpine just behind, getting out of the way. It's going to be real confusing to remember team names for this season and for last season. And of course, Williams, Alpine, Alfa Romeo, Sauber, Kit, Stay, E-Car, because AlphaTauri's gone now. Yeah. Buchik coming around here, middle sector going through, and as you can see, going down the back straight here. Buchik settling in again, up a bit of time here, so it looks like he is improving. Mateusz is going to get a 5-place grid penalty for blocking. That is unfortunate for him. We'll have to see if that sticks or not. So for Mateusz, he will start from 10th place at a 5th. Buchik comes across the line here, and it is a 109.1. It's good enough for P11. So he improves a little bit. Not enough, though. We've got Barthez, who is halfway through. His final lap here. 60 seconds left to go now in qualifying. So drivers coming around to start their final laps at the moment. You can see half the grid is out of our 14-car grid. Velocity retires out of the session in the pit lane, so Red Bull will not be sending Velocity back out. And then Barthez will be straight into the pits, not improving. He will opt in the pits. Baran is out to try to settle his lap through. Jalajne just now starting his lap, and Mateusz is about halfway through his lap here. We'll watch Mateusz as he comes around here in the middle sector. Seems nice and comfortable. Very, very collected. I don't see anything crazy happening, but he knows that he needs to find a significant amount of time here. Now, checkered flag has fallen, so Kashti, Barthez, Buchik, and Velocity are all going to be locked into their places and will not have the chance to improve. They just need to hope the cars below them don't go forward. Maverick goes across and does not improve. Mateusz will come across with a 108.791, so he actually loses time on that final lap. He will be locked into P6 there. Jalajne is coming around the final corner. We'll see if Jalajne is able to improve. As we go around, Baran crosses the line, does not improve. Jalajne is going to come across the line and does improve into third place. And now all eyes go to this man, Braxton, who is coming around. He's actually down through the middle sector slightly. So we'll see if he can come across the line and improve here and find more time. And you can see he spurs around there, so he wasn't happy with his lap, but I almost think if he hadn't have done the weaves there at the end, he probably would have had pole. But it is a 1-2 for Mercedes. Jalajne in third. Baumeister in fourth. Gavron, Mateusz in sixth, but of course, with a 5-place grid penalty to carry over. Velocity, Kashti, Myros, Barthez, Buchik, Foster, Schwein, Maverick, and Simon, rounding out your 14-car grid. Everybody stick with us for just a moment. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it will be time for some racing. All right, and we are back going here with the formation lap underway. Taking a look here at tire selection. It's soft for Cash Myros, hard for Maverick, medium tires for everyone else. So it looks like a slightly different strategy going to be taken here on these 36 laps from Maverick, Cash Myros. Most everyone else, I believe, will be going medium to hards. Overall, nice sunny race. I don't see any rain or anything predicted, so should be a fairly quick race in and out with just over a minute a lap. 36 laps, you can do the math. It should be about a 40-minute race in total, I believe, from the start. Looking at where things are, Mateusz did not have to take that 5th-place grid penalty, so he will actually be starting P6 where he qualified. Believe that will be reviewed post-race and possibly with a post-race penalty coming for Mateusz. Some drivers are coming around here. Final corner. It is Baron and Gragson, the Mercedes in the lead, but of course the Mercedes don't have great race starts, and then you can see there Zalazny and Gavron pulling up together with John Meister opting to sit back a little bit. Mateusz and Velocity are running together, and then of course Wasserschwein and Maverick are running together with Simon in P14 here in the AlphaTauri. So now Mateusz missed his grid box. He gets snapped back into place here, and it is, of course, going to be setting things up. Which of these front 4 drivers will find their way up forward? And it's going to be 5 red lights. And we are underway here for the Dutch Grand Prix in pole position racing. And it's 3 wide here at the start. Look at that. Gragson shuts the door quickly on John Meister as we go through. And it is going to be in the lead Baron with John Meister in P2. P3 Zalazny, P4 John Meister, P5 Gavron, who is trying to fight off Mateusz. Mateusz looks around the outside. That is a Williams into the wall. That is Ashby going extremely wide there. See his car completely ghosting out there for a moment as he was completely off the track. And now you can see he is fighting Gavron in last places. Myros in the middle here of some action. Velocity is trying to hold on here through the mid-pack. And you can see it's the mid-pack that's really giving us that battle. But checking back in with the front, it's Baron, Gragson, Zalazny, John Meister, Mateusz, Kashti, our top 6 that are all holding on into the places they're in here. And as we go through for the first of 36 times into this 3rd sector, you can see a little bit of a snap there from Kashti, but Kashti's able to hold on to it. And Gragson currently sitting in 2nd place. What can he do to get forward here? Around again, it's just Gragson continuing to apply pressure on Baron as he can. Zalazny is just looking to hold right there behind. John Meister right behind as well. Mateusz under some pressure from Kashti. Kashti's trying alternate lines there into that turn 4 area where he can try to get a little bit different of a line and a pass. You can see him, he's snapping around there. Kashti purple 1st sector, so Kashti with a lot of pace early on here. Tebe says, let's go Barthez. Barthez, it's painful to be a Ferrari fan. That's all I'm going to say as Barthez sits down in P12 at the moment. But it is a long race, so plenty of time to be found here for Barthez to find his way forward here. Gragson currently trying to battle against Baron and his teammate. But I believe that Mercedes are going to hold this 1-2 position for a while and try to just gain some space on Zalazny and John Meister and try to just sort of settle this race in. They want to have that Mercedes domination, and to be frank, as long as one of them is in the front, it is good news for the boss. DRS now enabled. It's been 2 laps since the race start, which means DRS is now open. That is going to allow the drivers to get a little bit of a boost on the backstretch and the main stretch and try to get a little bit more passing done. You can see Barthez moving up here, and it is Maverick, Wasserschwein, Simon retiring out a little bit ways back. VSC has been deployed. So, front four have stayed the same. Mateusz and Kashti have made up places. Gavron's lost places. Myros has made up places. Velocity has lost places. But nobody's really made any significant movements at the moment. Everybody's moved some, but not a lot here. As VSC is out here, lap 3 of 36. And VSC is already over. DRS is enabled again. And that is right as the drivers are hitting the final corner here to go to the main straight. So it's Baran, Gragson, Zelazny, John Meister. The top four separated by just under a second and a half. As you can see here, the Alfa Romeo of John Meister trying to just stick to the back of Zelazny and stay comfortable and consistent here. Mateusz is trying to make up a little bit of time here on John Meister. The gap 9/10 of a second. He's almost outside of DRS range. And if he does fall out of DRS range, it's going to be very problematic for him. John Meister continuing to apply pressure on Zelazny here. We're at 4 of 36. He's continuing to push and press forward and try to just be consistent here. He's continuing to try to push time forward and stay relaxed. He is doing a very good job of it here. As these front four are just keeping each other nice and honest. Nobody's doing anything crazy drastic. They are just continuing to move forward slowly but surely. Tracks it here at P2, trying to break the line a little bit on Baran and try to move forward. Not able to get a pass done, but he was trying. Kashti's into the pits here in the Williams. I gotta wonder what this is for here. Is this a front wing change going? It is indeed a front wing change for the Williams car, so already going on a different strategy, and that is going to prove pretty detrimental for him as this race goes on. Baran and Gragson continuing to keep each other just nice and honest. They're trying to build a gap on Zelazny. They're trying to push their way forward here and do what they can to move ahead. Zelazny in P3. John Meister in 4th place here, and Mateusz in 5th, who is caught up now as well. The top 5 running in their own little pack. They're not necessarily battling, but they are just keeping each other very, very in check. You come around the final corner here to start lap 6 here. You can see again Gragson looking to try to make a move on his teammate Baran, and he does get the move done before turn 1. So now new race leader is Gragson, so he is going to try to push his way forward. He continue ahead as best as he can, try to pull his teammate with him. They really, really need to be building up a gap on Zelazny as they can. You can see the orange McLaren in the background, or Papaya McLaren in the background there, who's continuing to just creep closer to Baran slowly but surely as we go. Gragson's continuing to just push forward here. He's building up a bit of a gap, but he really needs to be pulling his teammate with him. You can see Zelazny is slowly closing in. And then, of course, behind Zelazny, you have the hungry Alfa Romeo of John Meister and the hungry Red Bull of Mateusz, who is going to continue to push forward here. Dietrich getting past Myros. Of course, Myros is on those soft tires, which are probably starting to feel the pain. Baran and Zelazny battling it side by side into turn 1, and Zelazny does get past Baran, so that is going to relegate that second place back Baron starting to drop down after Gragson got by him. Lap 7 of 36 here, and you can see at the moment it is just Gragson trying to keep Jalajde behind here. Jalajde, a very fast driver, and Baron continuing to be put under pressure lap after lap after corner after corner. And unfortunately for Baron, he just doesn't seem to have the pace on this track, so he's going to continue to lose time here and lose places. You can see John Meister here is going to send it up the inside. Baron has nothing he can do to defend it. He's going to try to switch it back. Side by side, almost a little bit of contact, but not. And you can see there that it is Baron now down into 4th place. And Mateusz there in P5 is going to start putting pressure very, very quickly because Baron just does not have the pace. Myros picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, which is very unfortunate for him. Not what you want to see going on. And the driver in last place onto softs here on lap 8 of 36. He will have to serve that 5-second penalty at the next stop. He is surely going to have to make here. But as we run down here, we're now a quarter of the way through the race. You can see Jalajne really thinking about a hard send on Gragson around the outside, but not able to make anything stick here. But Jalajne is trying. That is going to be Baron in the wall in the background. Oh, the Mercedes driver's day just gets that much worse. He drops all the way back to P8. He's completely missing a front wing. The tires are cooked. So for Baron, his race is just very, very unfortunate here. He is having a very not good day, especially after starting on pole. This race is just not coming together for him. So we'll check back in here at the front of the field, and you can see Jalajne coming through. There is a Haas off in the final corner, and that is going to be Myros. So Myros not having a day either. Myros and Baron both having races that they would very much like to forget here, but Myros back going. So you can see Jalajne opening up the DRS as soon as possible, trying to get a run on Gragson here to get past him, and John Meister also trying to get that helping dose of slipstream and DRS to get past. Not close enough for any of them to make a change, so really these front four have just found themselves in a little bit of a DRS train here. Unfortunately for Baron, his race is just not going well. He's going on to soft tires here, which is not what I expected, and it's 4 tires and a front wing change. He's out. And Baron has a long, long race ahead of him to try to move forward a bit more here. Halfway through lap 11 here, and you can see, again, Jalajne just not able to get close enough to get a pass done on Gragson and get anything through. John Meister in third, Mateusz in fourth. And then there's a 4.2 second gap between the front four back to fifth place, which is Velocity, and then Gavron. And then there's a few second gap there, and then the field tends to spread out. So these front four, Gragson with a big off there, almost collecting Mateusz. And big moment there for Gragson. I didn't see exactly what happened. It looked like he just kind of lost the rear of the car, and safety car has been deployed as Myros has retired on the track here. He was up to the left, so I'm going to guess that he just lost the car on the exit of turn 12. But safety car on lap 11 has been deployed. And all of the leaders immediately into the pits here. And I'm going to imagine that for Gragson, it is hard tires going on. Jalajne onto hard tires. John Meister onto medium tires. Mateusz onto the hards. Gavron onto the hards. Velocity onto the hard tires. So, slightly different strategies across the field here. Everyone is quickly taking advantage of the pit stop. So, but for drivers like Baron, this is going to be huge because this is going to open up for Baron to get right back into the race here with this safety car here, a third of the way through. May give our pole sitter a chance to work his way back forward. But as Baron exits the pits, he's going to have to catch up to the pack here, which is coming through, I believe that is turn 9. So it's going to be Jalajne, John Meister, Gragson, Mateusz. So Gragson proving very lucky here with that safety car coming out when it did. Because he made a big error on the exit of 12 and was under a lot of pressure very quickly. Fastest lap is actually held by Kashti. So we know there's some pace to be found by all of these drivers. So I'm just kind of looking at things under safety car here. I'm trying to piece together what race strategy may be. And I think for a lot of these drivers, they're going to be committed to the one stop here. Especially all the drivers that have went onto the hard tire. John Meister might be able to stretch that hard tire or that medium tire to the end. Don't know for sure if he's going to be able to or not, but he's certainly going to try it. Hey, Syntax. Welcome to the Twitch chat. You should put exclamation Syntax in the chat and see what pops up, friend. Watching the cars go around here in safety car, and safety car is in this lap, which means Jalajne, a very fast driver, is going to have control of the field. And he is going to be setting the pace for this race here as we go. John Meister in second, Gragson in third, Mateusz in fourth place. So plenty of action to come through. And Jalajne will set pace for how this race will go.